Hello, everyone. Edward Leos here, publisher of the Hotel Guide and host of the Hotel Guide's Travel Talk podcast. You may be asking, why are we having a relocation expert on our Travel Talk podcast? Well, that's because we added relocation to our magazine. Back in the day, it was one of our top areas of interest because now when people travel somewhere, they're actually thinking, man, maybe I should move here or actually have a house or a home here. And so that's why we brought back our relocation section to the Hotel Guide, which we're really excited about. That's number one. And number two, it's about having my good friend who is actually a realtor here in the state of Texas, Lisa Zambrano. I'm going to bring her on right now. There she is. And happy to have her on our Travel Talk podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about relocation. We're going to talk a little bit about why you should choose a realtor when you're making these decisions. And also, I'm going to delve into what does she like to do with travel and moving forward from there. So, Lisa, great to have you on the show.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm happy to have you on. We go back a little ways. So that's kind of a cool thing. But tell me a little bit about yourself in terms of, actually not me, tell the audience a little bit about yourself since I kind of know it, but it's good for the audience to know who is our guest.
Sure. So I've been married for 26 years to John Zambrano, which is a friend of Eddie's. They grew up together. And I'm a mom of two boys. I was born and raised in Texas, and I've lived here in San Antonio for about 26 years. I've spent 35 years in marketing and advertising. I've been a business owner. Shoot, my resume is probably 3 or 4 pages long. Socially, I am involved in the San Antonio Rodeo. I'm involved at the Salvation Army, social community for the HOA. I'm in a women's group with our church, involved in some Chamber of Commerce's here in San Antonio. So my list is full.
You kind of do it all. And so you're also a realtor.
And I'm also a realtor.
Which is why we're talking here. But I love your background. We've talked about this off camera before. Your background is so diverse. And I think it's important nowadays when you're dealing with a realtor to probably have a little bit about that diversification. One of the big things that I love about your background in conjunction with being a realtor is the fact that you're a business owner. So you see things, I think, through the lens of a different lens, if you will. So when you got into being a realtor, what kind of got you into that? Why doing that? What was the key point for you to do that?
So I'm going to go backwards just a little bit to go forward. So my husband and I worked at my last salary job. We worked at a company together, and we were released from that position together. So I needed to jump back into the job market and try to find a position. Well, I'm 56 years old. And so the job market is not conducive to someone in their 50s. With my experience, and my salary requirements are going to be a little bit harder than, someone that's right out of college.
Sure.
So I decided to hire myself. And that's where I went into real estate, being a business owner and in my past, and knowing discipline and what you needed to do daily in order to keep yourself on track, and know about sales and talking to people and making those relationships is really key factors for a real estate agent. And I thought it was going to be fun.
Now, I agree with you on that when you're talking about some of your strengths. Why should someone hire you as their realtor?
Well, first of all, any realtor has a fiduciary responsibility to the buyers or the sellers. And realtors are professionals. We are in the MLS every day. We are talking to each other. The broker that I work with has realtors in every state. So if someone's relocating to another state, I've got people that I'm already networking with that are in that state that we can work together in order to, help them, refer them to someone, and so that they've got somebody local to that area.
Now I can see how, with the advent of social media, with the advent of, utilizing the progression of computers, and even calls like this, Zooms and stuff like that being more acceptable, I would think that there would be, it's not a bad time to be a realtor in this day and age. I'm sure there's a lot of them, but to be good at it, I think you actually have all the tools that are available to have a far reach out there. Do you agree?
Absolutely. And actually, I just recently had a military family that relocated to San Antonio that I helped find a home. And because we study the market, because we know the market, because we have relationships with builders, so we know incentives, we know who's got the best rate
Hmm.
available for, say, a new builder. And they were in up north. And actually, the husband was deployed in South Korea.
Wow.
So we did a lot through Zoom calls, walking the house through Zoom calls, and then he signed paperwork, through DocuSign over the internet. So yeah, the technology is really helping.
No, I would agree with that. I mean, talking about that in the hotel guide and in our travel world that we're talking to, when you're dealing with a client and you're signing an agreement or you're doing a sales call via Zoom now. Back in the old days, it was like, if I wasn't sitting with you face to face, the sale wasn't happening because people really weren't doing conference calls and all that stuff for advertising. And so the fact that we're able to do these kind of things really is just an incredible opportunity for people to kind of connect and really help people. So that's pretty exciting thing. When you're talking about real estate, and you're talking about, the market's a little a little crazy right now, but are you seeing any trends? Are you seeing any hot markets or anything that's really, some of your customers or clients or people that you're hearing in the real estate market that, maybe people should be aware of?
When you mean market, do you mean like location, like
Yeah,
places that people
location.
are going
Yeah.
to?
What are some hot places that people are like, hey, I want to move to this area?
So you're going to laugh at this, honestly. The number one place right now, according to a study about strong market and high quality of life,
Hmm.
is Green Bay, Wisconsin, believe it or not.
I don't believe it.
It's
But okay.
true. And the second one is Alabama,
Oh Lordy.
and then North Carolina. Have you ever
Okay.
been to North Carolina?
I have driven through North Carolina, going through South Carolina. So I have not been there to stick around, but yeah, that's actually out of the three, that's probably where I would want to go.
Yeah, I've only been in the airport.
Yes. But that's an interesting Green Bay, Wisconsin, being one of the top places to kind of. Again, I have nothing. I've never been to Green Bay. I'm actually a Chicago Bears fan, so when you say Green Bay, automatically was like, oh no, no, no.
You
But
cringe.
my Bears team is terrible, so it is what it is. But yeah, that's interesting from Green Bay all the way down to North Carolina. I think the quality of life here in the state of Texas where we live, there's a lot of opportunities. I would assume with regards to where you want to hang your hat, and so that's kind of a thing that I always focus on is what's in our backyard and how we can help people in that respect as well. So okay, so we talked a little bit about relocation. We talked about your background in it, and we're a travel magazine, which you're very much aware of as well. But let's talk a little bit about you in general. What are some of the, well, actually, where are some of your favorite places you have visited?
Well, I love wine, and that I just went to Napa
Yep.
last month, and that was
What did you love about that Napa wine trip besides the wine?
uh, the wine.
The
But
wine.
the second is, I learned so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed us the lay of the land. They showed us how the valley, the hills worked. One side is formed by volcanoes. The other side is formed
Wow.
by tectonic plate shift, and then the valley's in the middle. And it actually changes the taste of the wine. And I just love the education.
That's pretty cool because there's a lot of people that we've had not only on our show but just in general when they travel, part of traveling is about the experiences and it's about the education. That there's so much out there and everywhere you go. I mean, I think about us just driving around the state of Texas and seeing all these historical markers throughout the state, and just learning about where you are, learning about the land and stuff like that. So I can only imagine what it was like to be in Napa and to have those kind of stories kind of come across and then you get to sample the wine. Well, maybe not sample it. You actually get to drink the wine. Sample's a small word. I'm not a sampler. I'm a wine drinker. So that sounds good. Any other cool places you've been to over your lifetime that you love?
Well, last year we went to Costa Rica, which is beautiful.
Wow.
And in April, we're headed to the Dominican Republic.
Nice.
And
Nice.
have you ever been to South Dakota?
I have not.
So there's a place in South Dakota called the Black Hills. Have you ever heard of it?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so being from Texas, when you drive through the Black Hills and you roll down your windows, it smells like you know those little hangers that have the little pine trees?
Yes.
It smells exactly like that.
Oh,
It's
wow.
crazy. It is beautiful and there's hills and it's just beautiful.
That sounds pretty cool. Well, you're definitely a traveler, so that's good. But do you have any bucket list travel ideas?
I do.
Okay.
I would love to go to Greece and Spain and Italy.
Those three are all on my bucket list.
Oh, we'll have to plan a trip.
So we might need to plan a couples trip out there and do that, because it's weird, because my Leos name goes back to Spain and Italy, the roots. So always wanted that. But I'm a big foodie, you know that.
Mhm.
So food and drink are going to be what takes me my places. We have our culinary section in the magazine too, and it's amazing how much people travel to destinations specifically for the culinary aspects of that trip. And so I was on a podcast last week, and we were talking about those exact things, what drives people to kind of go where they want to go. So, all right, we got a couple of minutes here left. I want people to know how they can best find you. Maybe one last thing, talking about the real estate side, being a realtor, how you can help people from the relocation side, or even just finding their new dream home.
Sure. So the name of my company is Zambrano Realty Group. So it's the website is Zambrano Realty Group. I can also send you a checklist of things if you're wanting to relocate, items that are important for you to consider when you are relocating.
Mhm.
Like setting a budget, knowing the differences in the income or unexpected variances that you may not consider that you need to be
Mhm.
aware of and do some research into. Um, Anytime, I mean, you hear everybody talking about the job market, the real estate market isn't great, but anytime is the best time to buy a home if you're needing to buy a home or sell a home. So, I'm in the MLS every day and I'm studying and learning and talking and networking all the time. So I am here to help anybody walk through their real estate journey.
That's awesome, and I appreciate you for bringing that up. One of the takeaways that I got from our conversation is the fact that you've got a network that you have access to around the United States and beyond. And so I want people to think outside the box when they're talking to you and any realtor, is the fact that when you have those kind of connections, the world becomes a very much a smaller place. And I love the fact that we're able to do that in the day and age that we're in. And your background is just perfect for helping someone find a home. And so it's been a pleasure to have you on the show today. And I know it won't be the last time. Maybe we'll actually do a podcast on one of these vacations and do it from there, wherever destination we are. That'd be kind of cool. But again, Lisa, I want to thank you for being on our Travel Talk podcast. For all of our followers and listeners, continue to follow us, subscribe, share this with all your friends and families, members. This is one of our favorite things to do here at the Hotel Guide. And I'm excited about where we're going with our next editions. We've got some ones I'm going to tease. We got the Atlantis, Bahamas coming up soon. We've got another one with Jennifer Broom's going to be coming up, talking about some winter destinations. So really excited about some of our upcoming ones. But Lisa, thank you for being on today's show. And for everybody else out there, continue to like us, follow us, share us, do all that good stuff that you all do. And remember, thehotelguide.com. We're here to help you and serve you. All the best. Take care.